Alright, good morning everybody. Welcome to 5 Hours of Power 5. We are finally live. Hopefully everybody can hear my voice. Go ahead and chime in the chat if you can hear it. Excellent. Alright, well, welcome to the annual competition where we make everybody stress like crazy trying to build a coaster in 5 hours. Here we are enjoying last year's winter weekend, which was quite the interesting challenge. Last year we focused on capacity as the main thing. We needed everybody to hit a certain number. We needed 1,800 riders an hour, which most people don't think about when they're building their coasters, especially how to brace everything. So let's take a look and see what we got. I'm hearing people, please turn my mic up. We had this problem yesterday. This is as good as it's going to get. Turn your volume up. So moving on from here. So does everybody want to learn the rules for this year's competition? I'm seeing lots of oofs. I will take that as a yes. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at this year and the competition that we have in place. So, let's dive into the editor here. There we are. So this is going to be where the competition takes place this year. You can see that there's a lake. It seems to be surrounded in blue fencing. What could all that be? Well, I will be happy to explain. This year's challenge is called a mile of spaghetti. So what do we mean by that? Well, we need to get a mile of coaster track, whatever you want to put, inside this blue lake. I'll let everybody freak out for just a moment about that. Yes, it seems like it's impossible, but it is doable. We did some measurements to make sure that that much track will actually fit there. And to prove it, let's go ahead and show you this. So you see those big yellow octagons in there? Those are the exact size of the show building of Flight of Fear. And you can see that there is room for 2 complete show buildings of Flight of Fear within the build area. Plenty of room in here, and you have all this blue area in addition to go there. Plus, there's no height limit. You can go as high as you want to. Given that, there will be no problems fitting a mile of track in this blue area. So let's get down to some of the specifics. When we talk about a mile of coaster track, we want 1 mile of normal track, not brakes, not launches, not transport stations, everything else. Plain, normal coaster track is the only thing allowed within the blue area. Outside of the blue area, you can build any kind of segment, including normal coaster track. So you can build stations and transports and block brakes and anything you want, including all the storage tracks and the transport tracks, stations, everything outside of that. The idea here is that park operations, they wanted a mile of coaster inside of the blue area, but they wanted to make it easy to maintain and service all of the coaster equipment. So all of that has to be outside of the blue area. Absolutely no brakes, stations, launches, transports, anything that is not normal coaster track inside the blue area. 1 mile of normal coaster track inside the blue area. So this year, yes, you can build onto water. You can build the supports onto the water. We're waiving that rule from previous years. We are leaving the contest map's going to have these coasters nearby because you don't want to run into them. They will be in wireframe mode for these 2, and I think also Manic. They're going to be in wireframe mode. You do need to avoid them. You cannot run through them, you cannot hit them, cannot interfere with their operations. And the red bars that you see here, don't build past that red line. Stay away from it. The rest of the area, you're free to do what you would like. Cannot move the the path. You can't change the terrain. You can delete all the trees. Get rid of as many trees as you want. So that way you can create as much space for yourself as you want. With this path, also leave people enough room to walk under without bumping their heads on coaster track. So good 10 feet or so if you're going to jump over the path. So that's the basics there. Let me bring up the rules. Inside of the park properties, as always, you're going to see the full list of rules that are here. It also has the link right here where to submit your final entry. Remember, you're going to have to download this park, build your coaster, get it completely tested and running. Codemaster will waste a whole bunch of time adding scenery and lights, and that won't even be judged. So it's a complete waste of time. In fact, he should build a dive machine just for fun. That's the upload form link right there. Very important, please rename the contest file with your name. Helps us out so we can sort this out later. 1 mile of spaghetti, as I mentioned, you can use any style, including a wooden coaster, but keep in mind that the Auto Wood Support Builder is going to carve massive holes in your wooden structure, which is going to leave it very unrealistic, so that's probably not a good idea. Let's see here. One style, we've got the track length, only normal track in the blue area. Lift, launches, everything else outside of the blue area. Cannot be in there at all. Cannot overlap or touch the blue fence. All has to be outside of that. Everything can touch the water. Otherwise, no tunnels this year. Nothing underground or under the water. You can delete or move the trees as all you want. Don't move the terrain, other coasters, paths, or contest borders. And you have to have enough storage to hold all of your trains off the main circuit. One other rule in there, your coaster must be able to run 4 trains. 4 trains. Seeing a question going by, can a block break be inside of the blue area? No. No block breaks inside of the mid area. Park operations and maintenance, they want to make it easy to maintain this coaster. They want to have the evacuation catwalks and everything outside of away from the water. So if you're going to need to have a block break, most likely, what you do is you're going to have to dip out of the blue area, get your block break, go back inside. So there you go. 5 hours to build it all. You'll download this map, the link will go live on Facebook exactly at the contest start time. You'll have 5 hours to get it up from at that point. Let's think we covered everything else here. Again, no height limit, so you can go as high as you want, which will help you for this. Does the rule apply for trim brakes? Yes, no brakes. Come on, that's cheating. If you do the coaster design right, you won't even need the trim brakes. So we're not gonna. Don't worry about trying to do a B&M Hyper that has a couple of trim brakes on lift hills to control speed. Don't do that at all. How efficiently does the ride have to run 4 trains? Well, we're going to evaluate that as part of your realism score. If you've got 1 train going through the bowl, 1 in the station, and 2 lined up on brakes behind it, it's not going to look very good. So, plus you have a mile of track. You don't have to worry too much about that. There's a lot of track length there. It should be very easy to have 2 running through, 1 loading in the station, and 1 working its way down the final brakes. Can normal track be outside of the blue too? Yes, any kind of track can be outside of the blue area, including normal track. Anything can be outside of the blue area. So stations, transfers, storage, launches, transports, brakes, everything can be outside there, including normal track. Inside the blue area, only normal track. Let's see if I got everything else covered here. Yeah, we want to use only NoLimits 2 and things that come packaged with that. We're not going to be using outside scenery. Remember, we're not even going to evaluate it. We're going to hide it. We're going to delete it. So if you attach anything to the train, we're going to just delete it and rate what you built. This is about coaster building. This isn't an overall themic thing. So for the question, what are the yellow pie charts from BB Speed? Those are the exact scale size of Flight of Fear's show building. And this is to prove that there's enough room for 2 complete premier spaghetti bowls in the build area, plus more room. So we have lots of space. As for code still going to be build scenario anyway, well, we know this. And he's going to start by trying to see if he can do this with a 4th dimensional coaster before realizing that that takes up way too much space. But he'll spend a good hour on it. Yep, so yeah, we did measure the Flight of Fear show building using scale imagery, satellite imagery. It's 160-foot diameter octagon, and that's what's represented there. Your map that you download will not have the yellow octagons. This is just to show you guys there is plenty of space in here, and the fact that you can go taller than Flight of Fear goes, you have plenty of space. So be creative. So those in the metric system, yeah, we do have the metric conversion inside the rules as well. It is right there. All right, we've got a little bit more time here. Any additional questions? How can we measure the track length? That's a good question. Let's take a look. Inside of here, the coaster, all we have to do, we'll switch over to something else. It's very easy to measure track length. Any segment between main segments, you can just click on it. Come on, click on anywhere. There you go. And then you look in the lower left corner, it'll tell you the selected track section and how long that is. That's it. So the easy way to do it is you drop some style nodes. You'll drop off some style settings at the borders right as you go in and out of the blue area. Then you click and add it, put it together now. Style separators. So that's exactly how we're going to check to see if you do have a mile worth of track inside the blue area. So that's all you have to do. And if you click on multiple track segments, you'll be able to get multiple length ratings. Actually, you're going to get them in pieces. So you do have to take them kind of one at a time. But that's the way that we're going to be checking that afterwards to make sure that you do, in fact, have the amount of track inside the blue area adds up to 1 mile. Our lifts inside the blue area, no, only normal track. A lift is not normal track. A drop, a teeter-totter seesaw section, tilt track is not normal track. Transfer tracks are not normal track. A launch or transport segment is not normal track. Brakes are not normal track. When we talk about normal track, we are talking on this setting, section type, track. That's it. Section type, track is the only kind of track inside the blue area. That's it. Correct. Can we build the ride inside and outside the blue area, but we just need 1 mile of normal track in the blue area? Exactly right. That's how we do it. So you will be jumping in and out of the blue area because it's going to be very, very, very difficult if you're planning to put the entire 1 mile of action inside the blue area without any block breaks. Might theoretically be doable, but since you need 4 trains, you're going to want to have some get some help in there too. Get back over there. You're going to need some block breaks to allow for 4 train operation. So there is plenty of space here. Be creative. When you look around, we did some terraforming. We knocked out some hillside here, so you got plenty of space for all of the operating bits that you need for the ride. Be creative with it. Again, don't go past these red fences into the areas of these 2 coasters at all. We have some height that kind of shows where they're going to be. Manic, we did not surround in a fence, so you can play with it a little bit more, but you can't run into Manic. You can't interrupt its operation or have the 2 coasters collide. You're allowed to delete trees, so get rid of all the trees you want. That's it for what you can do with scenery. You can add scenery later if you want, but again, we're not going to be paying attention to your scenery. We're paying attention to the coaster. So taking a look at some additional rules here. Peripherals outside, 4 train. No throughput requirements, correct. Yeah, we're not looking for a specific number there. Any coaster type, yes. Any coaster type is going to be good. Is there a light template this year? Yes, you are going to get a light template that doesn't have all of the additional rides in it. It's just going to have the wireframe versions of the 3 coasters that are nearby, and the paths that are nearby, and that's it. So additional questions. We got a little bit more time before everything goes live. Remember, the link will go live on Facebook right at the contest start time. So be sure to get the link to download your park there. I'll also spread it out in a couple of other areas, including on NoLimits Central. And that's going to be it. And if you are going to live stream your efforts, please share that. I'd love to be able to share out your attempts to live stream and what you're up to and building as part of the fun and hype of this one. So if you are live streaming on Twitch or YouTube, please share the link with us either on NoLimits Central or somewhere where we can find it. And that way I can get the word out of what you're planning to do. All right. Any other questions? Can you build over the Mauer? Yes, you can. Yes, that area is not fenced off in red. You can build over the original winner of 5 Hours of Power, Manic. You can build over that. Yes. The red is only surrounding these 2 because there's going to be just too much density for you to be able to get into that area. But you can build over Manic over here. Any additional questions? Taking a look at the live chat. So if you have a question, post it in the live video chat. The full rules are about to get posted on Facebook as well, so you can read through the rules text there and get yourself prepared. Yes, Code is going to thread a 4D through Manic. It's going to be great. I'm sure he can do it. I have full confidence the Codemaster can do it. That's a good question, Dan Pan the Man. Does it have to be a limit track inside the blue, or does regular track that's outside the blue count as well? Only regular track inside the blue area will count towards your mile. Any regular track outside of your blue area will not count for your mile. Yes, Justin's correct. We will be measuring that mile of track using style connectors. So we will, anytime you have track that enters the blue area, we're going to drop a style connector there and then drop another one where your track leaves the blue area and count up the amount of track that's inside the blue area. Will rules be posted on NoLimits Central? Yes, I can paste them there as well. But if you go to Facebook right now, our official Facebook page, the rules have just been posted. All right, give a couple more minutes for any additional questions. Anybody else have anything else they want to know? Is dueling with 2 trains per coaster considered 4 trains? The rules state you are building 1 coaster. So I'm not sure exactly how you're going to do that. If you're planning to build 2 different tracks as 1 coaster, that's not quite what we're aiming for. We want 1 mile of spaghetti. Make it all the same coaster. Don't worry about trying to duel with 2 of the. It's going to be too complicated. So just 1 coaster. Now, if you want, you can certainly do a first half, second half duel along the lines of Twisted Colossus or West Coast Racers. That would work as well, so that you can have, as it goes through its first half, it comes through its second half, it's racing a train that's going through its first half. That would work. Mobius duel. Can we put the Facebook link in here? It's facebook.com/NoLimitsCoaster. Yes, absolutely, Bill. Every time I say don't do this, it's going to be too complicated. Yeah, it's specifically calling Code out so that he's going to waste. The goal is really to have Code waste so much time he can't place in this competition because he just goofs off way too much. Splashdowns allowed? No, we do not want you touching the water with your coaster train. So you can build supports, and you'll be obviously building track over the water, just don't touch the water. All right, take a couple more minutes for any additional questions. Anybody have anything else they would like to know? Supports in the water is good. Yes, you can put supports with footers that go straight into the water. No tunnels, correct. No tunnels at all. What coaster types inside the park already? You can add the same type. Yeah, don't worry if what you're trying to do is already built in the park somewhere else. And to officially answer that, we have got a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster 2. We've got the Maurer X coaster. We've got a B&M inverted. We've got a wooden coaster with 3-bench PTCs. We've got a Premier shuttle coaster. Those are all of the previous winners and the previous styles that are there. So you can go with a different style if you want. You can go with any of those styles. Doesn't matter to us. All right. Any last questions? Are coaster kits allowed? also intermins. No, that's outside scripting. That's outside objects. Don't worry about putting those in because we're not going to evaluate based on that. We're going to evaluate based on what kind of coaster you built. Those are outside stuff. So don't worry about bringing in outside coding and having other trains like that. We want the base normal trains in there. After the contest is over, you're free to do whatever you want with your park and post it available. We will make all of the downloads available as soon as we have them all grouped and ready and renamed. Again, very important. Please, 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 please rename the park file you submit with your name in it. It makes it a lot easier. In-game force vector design allowed? Yes, you can do that. The outside force vector tool? No, we want to keep it just the things that are inside of NoLimits. Can I change the rules? Yeah, I'm going to write some new ones right now. For the form's going to ask you for both your real name and your nickname. For what you upload, make sure that we can tell which one's yours. There was one year that about over half the people did not change the file name, which meant we had a lot of the exact same name file name, and it took forever to sort out which one was which. So it just helps us for sorting out the judging later and making sure we have everything in place. We will rename the park file name so that they're all uniform. They're going to have the name of the coaster and the name of the builder based on if they want to go by their screen name or their real name. All right, we have just a few minutes until the contest starts. I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream at this point. If you have additional questions, post them anywhere. I'll be monitoring all sorts of feeds, including the official NoLimits Central Discord and some other sources, and I'll be happy to answer questions as they come up, and also give Code new bad ideas so that he wastes even more time. All right, everybody, good luck. The contest starts in just a few minutes. Remember, keep refreshing our Facebook page. The link is programmed to go live, so you can download and get the contest started right away. It will be a light version of the park so that it'll perform better and you'll have it in place. Can you build more than one coaster? No, one coaster is all you're required for this thing. After you've finished one coaster, if you want to build a second one, if you have enough time, sure, go ahead. We're only going to rate one coaster. Okay, everybody, good luck. Have fun, and we'll see you on the other side of 5 hours of power.